Hello everybody, Shotgun into 1000 here, reporting for duty, welcoming you back to more Pokemon HeartGold. In the last episode, we climbed up the lighthouse and battled all the trainers en route towards Jasmine, the gym leader of Olivine City, to find out what is wrong with Ampharos. And we found out that we've been given a leading role that we need to go to China City to find some medicine for it. Because Jasmine does not want to leave Ampharos all on his own, which I can understand. This time, we're going to be making our way down to China City. But before that, talking to this guy, because we saw that our mum actually bought something else and delivered it to us. We got 3 items to pick up. First up is Yashi berries. These berries will actually weaken the power of super effective ice type moves. Next up, Silk Scarf. This will raise the power of normal type moves. I've been waiting for this item for so long. And finally, Shuka Berry. I don't exactly remember what that berry does. It weakens the super effective ground type moves. Looks more like a berry that weakens the power of super effective electric types actually. But thankfully, we've been given the Silk Scarf. I can't think of a better Pokemon to give this to than Ferdinand. And while we're in the Pokemart, I think we've got some items to sell. Stardust for 1,000. Nugget for 5,000. And honestly, I'm not a massive fan of the Shell Bell, nor I am of the Shed Shell. I'm going to get rid of the Shed Shell and the Shell Bell. And then we'll buy a good number of Super Potions, 16. And we'll buy 5 revives. Yeah, I don't really need to buy any more Pokeballs, but when the time comes, I will be wanting to buy some more. Okay, just wanted to double check to make sure. Because, really, we're not going to be catching any more Pokemon for a long time. As our journey now takes our way to Route 40, we've got this area over here. If we enter it, you've got this guy blocking the way. What? I'm the first to arrive? There will soon be a battle frontier past here. I'm in line to be the first one there. I haven't slept for days. Get in line if you want to be the second one in. Yeah, no matter how hard you try, you can't get past him. Because the Battle Frontier that he says is going to be behind that clerk over there, that's not till the post game. So, there are a lot of trainers to find here on this surfing route of Route 40 to 42. I'm not personally going to be battling all of them, because believe me, it is very time consuming to actually find them all in the first place. And while we're in Route 40 and onwards, we've got some... I saw her the very second I turned my head around. Alright, while we do this, we're going to go over the encounters. First... Oh, never mind, she's only got 1 Pokemon and it's a Staryu. Alright. Okay, first off is Mantine. Honestly, I love this Pokemon to pieces. It is another water flying type, just like Gyarados, who is realizing what I put down there, I didn't put down a comma between Gyarados and who. Because like saying, it's a water flying type, just like Gyarados, who is a Stingray. Gyarados is not a Stingray, he's like a Loch Ness Monster. But yeah, But yeah, seriously though, it is a water flying type Pokemon, just like Gyarados. Mantine though is a Stingray design that is apparently known to be called the Kite Pokemon. I don't understand why, but it is. It is actually accessible to gaining the ability Swift Swim, where its base speed alone is 70 and it gets doubled to becoming 140 when used in rain. TM88 Pluck. That's actually a flying type move that's 60 power, 100 accuracy, that if your opponent is holding onto a berry, you can eat it off them and get the benefits of that berry. Going back to the bio, it can outspeed a lot of Pokemon when used in the rain because of its base speed with the ability Swift Swim, though it can be a hard Pokemon to catch. And I can tell, as I once ran out of Pokeballs on my very first ever playthrough of this game trying to catch it for its data. Because when I encountered it, I was so surprised in thinking, oh, this is a cool looking Pokemon, and I'm going to see if I can catch it and see what type it is. Because back then, 10 years ago, when I first played this game for the very first time in my life, I was one of those people that was like trying to learn the whole typings of all the Pokemon. Because believe me, when you have an opportunity to catch a Pokemon, you are more than likely wanting to catch them for their data, find out what type they are, and see if they are a viable user for your team. Second Pokemon you can actually find here, and this can be an interesting one, Shelder. Shelder, with an almost base 200 in physical defense when fully evolved, and can carry the ability Shell Armor, is a really good combination to use. Because Shell Armor is basically an ability that prevents it from being hit by critical hits. It would be a hard Pokemon to knock out with any physical attack. It can also carry Skill Link for the ability, which allows multi-hitting moves to hit 5 times every single time. Which can help since it is a balanced attacker, but I don't understand how it gains the Ice type when evolved with using a Water Stone. But don't evolve it until you get a Roller Beam at level 32. I didn't realize I was actually surfing into a rock then. And you see the whole mechanic about like surfing along this route to be jumped on by tentacles all the time? Yeah, I am not kidding. There are tentacles and tentacles everywhere in this route. Oh god. Oh. Ah! She's one of those fast spinners. Yeah, okay. Alright, yeah, there, I found where I was. It learns a Roller Beam at level 32, Shelter does, and it can also learn Ice Shard at level 28. But the only bad thing I can say, if you're planning on using this Pokemon on your team, is that you only have a 3% chance of encountering it. Only by fishing with the Good Rod, though. So if you got the patience to try and find a 3% encounter, then by all means, try for that Shelter. Otherwise, don't waste your time, personally. And another Pokemon that you can find here on Route 14, I think it's the last, yeah, it's the last one, but don't bother with this Pokemon at all. Chinchou. All I can say with this Pokemon starting its bio is make sure it carries Photo Sword for the ability. You could stress yourself out a lot if it has Illuminate instead. For those who are wondering what Photo Absorb does, it heals up the Pokemon's HP whenever hit by an electric attack. Okay? It is actually the very first water electric type Pokemon shown in the Johto Dex, and sort of a meh Pokemon for me. Its speed is slightly lower than average, its physical side is even worse at 58, and special is no better than 76. Only thing this Pokemon is good for is carrying a lot of HP. And you'd think being an anglerfish, which lights up the sea, increases the chances of finding one, but not here, where it has a 7% chance of finding it. Only while fishing with the good rod again. So yeah, you have a very, very low chance of finding a Mantine while surfing, because you just get jumped on by tentacles, and tentacles roughly 90% of the time. Actually, we'll use this tentacle as a experience grinding point. Thank heavens he's an idiot. Yeah, one thing that I kind of learned with these AI programming Pokemon or whatever, they always use status moves when my Pokemon is one hit away from being KO'd. I have no idea why. Okay, I'm going to switch Dratini out, and we're going to give Starfy some screen time now, considering he's not been used on camera this entire LP. And we've now arrived in Shinewood City, and believe it or not, there is one new encounter you can get here in Shinewood City, but it's not an encounter just like with Tentacle. We're going to see if we can actually find our way. Okay, there we go. We're going to go into the Pokemon Center to heal. And yeah, you can see him too. That guy standing right next to the PC is the guy you normally see when standing inside the gym. I'm not going to bother talking to him. If you're wondering why I'm actually using the PC real quick. Whoops. Hang on, I'm just moving the Pokemon up this way a bit. There we go. Going to put... oh, for God's sake. Sometimes touchscreens can be very sensitive. Let's see. It's this house you want to go in. No, it's not. Maybe this one? Yes, this one. I'm in shock. A guy about your age with piercing eyes and long hair came in. He scared me into giving him my prized Pokemon. I still have one left, but what if he comes back? You look strong. Could you look after my Pokemon for a while? Yep. You received a Pokemon. What Pokemon is this? Why, it's Shuckle, named Shucky. Shuckle is a defensive wall by far, the most defensive Pokemon in all of Pokemon, but is equally the slowest and lacks in both attacks. But it does carry access to a move known as Power Trick at level 48, which swaps the user's defenses with his attack stats, which can be both good and bad, because it makes it easier for both you and Shuckle and your opponent mainly to knock each other out, potentially with one move. And what I mean by that is basically you're switching your defenses with your attacks, because Shuckle's base attacks are roughly at 20, but compared to his defenses it's like over 100. And if you use Power Trick, you're basically going to turn your defenses to attacks and the attacks into a defense, which means you'll be wanting to try and attack your opponent, but with how slow the Pokemon is, you're more likely going to be knocked out before you get a chance to knock them out. This Shuckle though is actually a relaxed nature, which is plus physical defense minus speed, which actually is a really good nature. And it is holding onto a berry juice, which is basically a potion. It heals up 20 HP of the Pokemon's max health. Now for the next bit. Go inside here. Huh? You need medicine? Your Pokemon appear to be fine. Is something worrying you? The Lighthouse Pokemon is in trouble? I got it. This ought to do the trick. We obtained the secret potion. My secret potion is a tad too strong. I only offer it in an emergency. Yeah. Now we have the secret potion. We can go immediately back to Ampharos to heal it off. But why am I recommending not to do it right now? Key factor. We know that Jasmine is a gym leader. But she is not the next gym leader to challenge. The next gym leader to challenge in the story is located right here. You want to challenge the gym leader in this town before anything else. Now, one other thing I can roughly say about this remark is I'm going to end off the episode here early. Main reason why is because all those trainers I ignored on Route 40, 41 and on Route to 42, I want to battle them. So next time on Pokemon Heart Gold, we will tackle the gym leader here in Shinewood City. See you guys then.